I welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to do is understanding basic time series forecasting for a univariate data. So in this data, it's a univariate because we will be using the past information of the data itself rather than picking up new variables. So the data is for a soap sales from July 2008 till, so there are missing years, but if you consider it as 2010, then this is your sales data. Okay, so the data from 2010 July until 2013 June, and there's an extra value of July 2013 which is provided. So we will be comparing it in the forecast. Okay, so this is the sales data in terms of number of units sold. So we will be showing you several examples. Okay, so first example is that we use the naive method. So naive method says that anything that we got in the last day will be same as today. So it's like first lag. So it's equal to the previous value. So if you drag it down, it will show you the forecast that the last time period forecast is this. It will give you an error, which means that it has over forecasted, and then it calculates the mean square error, and the formula is sum x m y2. So here what it does is it multiplies the forecast and actual data and divide by a number of values, count of the values in the forecast one. So it gives you the mean square error. Okay, and then you can use the lag. If the lag is 1, means one time period is same as naive, but here it's lag 2, so I can write it as lag 2. So 2 time period previous, so it is equal to, press it equal to 2 time period past, and all the values are similarly, formula is applied, and it gives you forecast of 4 2 time period previous, and it has this much difference and this much mean square and root mean square error. The root mean square is just a square root of the mean square error. And then we have 2 time period moving average, which is average of 2 time periods. Okay, and then it goes down to forecast value of 8.50, which has 2.5 as an error, and this is comparable error indicator. Okay, and then there is a 3 time period moving average, 3 period moving average, which is an average of 3 time periods. If you go forward, it will give you this much forecast, and this is its error. So this much is its differences. So I can just mark it as red, and these are its forecasting performance indicators. Okay, if we go forward, we have 2 time period weighted moving average. So it has weights for first lag and the second lag. So we use the sum product formula. So 34 multiplied by 0.73 plus 17 into 0.27. So it gives you this answer, and it has this forecasting performance value. Okay, then there is a 3 time period moving average. So 3 time period moving average works as the weight for previous time period and also second last and third last. And then if you look at the formula, it's 22 into 0.6, 34 into 0.2, and 17 into 0.2. So this way it will lead to 10.40 as a forecast, and its forecast error and forecast performance indicators. Then we go for the exponential smoothing. Exponential smoothing uses the last value and the difference between the last forecast and the last value as a correction mechanism. So if you see the formula, it is equal to the last value plus the alpha that is provided, and it's 0.9 here, and then multiply by the actual value and the forecast difference. So it's a correction mechanism. Okay, so you see if you use this formula, the forecast is 12.15. okay, and then after this we focus on the double exponential method. It requires calculation of trend level and the base level. Okay, for the base level, for the trend level, the formula is written here. So the trend level is equal to the beta, which is given 0.05, and the difference between the last two actual data. So it's actually the rate of change. So difference between the last two values, 34 minus 17. So if you look at the formula here, and then plus alpha, 1 minus beta is alpha. So you can see it here, and multiplied with by the last trend level. So this is the trend. So it measures if the debt trend is increasing or decreasing. Then and it calculates the current trend and adjust for the previous trend also. So first few observation it will be 0, and then it will start to change depending upon the amount of change in the data. Then it calculates the base level. The formula is the alpha into sales, means alpha is given 0.95 plus beta into last forecast plus trend. So it adds the correct for the previous sales, and then so it is last sales plus beta into what was the last forecast and what was the trend. So and the double exponential smoothing is just sum of that value. So it gives you this forecast and this answer. So this file is the link for this file will be shared in the comments. You can download. Now, if you compare beyond 3-period moving average and up till 3-period moving average, these methods are fixed. So it means whatever you got it, you have to look if it is good or not. If you want to go for 4-period moving average, you can use it. And there are other forms like cyclic moving average. For example, if it's a daily data, you take a moving average of every Monday or every Tuesday. So the applications of that is there. Now we come to the advanced models, that 2 period weighted moving average, 3-period weighted moving average, exponential smoothing, and double exponential smoothing. The advantage of this model is that assuming that the trends of the data is same as the past and it will continue in the future, you can first learn the best forecasting model by changing the weightages so that it can be improved. So for example, for these values I just write it here. So I just write 0.27 and 0.73 and just connect it with these values. So this must be equal to this, and this value must be equal to this. So I will just change them and see if it is improving. So my error is 0.43, but I will do 0.26 and 0.74. So it has increased. So what I will do 0.25, 227 and 0.73. So it was 0.43. So you can just change and find where the error is minimum. So it was 0.43, 0.26, 0.74. So it's reduced. So 0.25, 0.75 is reduced further. So you can find a point where this forecast is reduced. Similarly, you can change these weights and find a better point, and then use that algorithm to forecast the future. And then if you see the RMSEs are increasing, you can then recalibrate these. So there are advanced softwares that can help you to recalibrate this automatically, but in this activity you have learned how to do it manually. So for example, in the exponential smoothing, I will just keep this value 0.9 and connect it with some number here. So I will keep it here. So it was 0.9 earlier, so I will write 0.7. So it's 0.15. So error has been reduced a lot. So I will just make it in decimal places. Yeah. So if you want 0.75, so it's too high. So 0.77. No. So it can be 0.72. Yeah. So this way you can see the error has been reduced a lot. So it means I was able to reduce a lot of error by just tweaking one value in the exponential smoothing. Same way you can apply here. So this is the advantage of weighted moving averages and the exponential smoothing and double exponential smoothing. I hope you like this video of explaining simple forecasting models. This can help you to understand the idea behind why we use. So in these advanced models, the idea behind it is the rational expectations or adaptive expectations, that you make a model by correcting your expectations of the future value and try to find weights that can minimize the difference between actual and forecast. So if there are no drastic changes in the business practice, you might not have to change the weights and you will be able to predict very closely. And if you see, then you can plot the difference over the time, and you see if the errors are increasing, then you can arrange some upper and lower limit, and then using that you can decide when you need to revisit and update the weights so that the future errors are then corrected. So I hope you like this video on forecasting techniques for time series data. Thank you.